Okay, well, hello YouTube. So this afternoon or evening, depending when you're watching, for the third time today, we will be going through FreeCodeCamp.com, more specifically the JQuery section. This morning we went through the end of HTML5. This afternoon we went through the entire responsive design with Bootstrap. And now we're heading into jQuery, which is the final section before the basic front-end development projects, I should say, because I believe there's 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them. So I'm a little anxious about it, a little bit scared, but I have a feeling that FreeCodeCamp.com has prepared me enough to take on these challenges. So we'll face that beast when we come to it. But today, I want to try and tackle as much as we can with the jQuery. If we do end up finishing it, I'm going to call it a stream, because I want a fresh mind, just focused on the front-end development project. So we can get a good amount done in one session, and not do half of it or quarter of it or 4% of it. Yeah, I don't know how well it's gonna go, but I want to just start off fresh. I think that's gonna be the best way to go ahead and tackle that. So before we actually start the content of FreeCodeCamp.com, I wanted to address a couple changes that have been done since the previous afternoon stream. The first being the layout of the video that you're looking at. So you have my video in the top left corner, as opposed to the bottom. I'm sorry, the bottom. It's in the top right as opposed to the bottom right. Totally got confused there for a moment. So I had to make a choice, right? Because I'm gonna cut off a little bit of this camera app phone thing display that they use to show up what code I've written, what it actually does. I'm gonna cover it up a little bit, whether I use the top or the bottom. Now the reason why I chose the top is I've got more dead space on the top. Like I hate showing the Google Chrome browser minimize, maximize X button and all my extensions and stuff. You guys really don't need to see that. And I also added a few labels, text pieces, I guess, on top, like the Twitter icon with my Twitter, because I want you guys to interact with me. I would love if you guys tweeted me or followed me, and I'll totally follow you guys back. Make sure you leave a DM or something saying, hey, who you are and how you found me. And I also put a little cheeky note saying, don't be shy, talk in the chat. I wish I could think of something that rhymed, but I'm not that creative. But yeah, if you guys are watching it, please, if you guys watch it live, if you guys are just watching the video after it's all done, posted on YouTube, write a comment in the comment section below. It'll make my day. So those are the few changes that I've been doing on the stream. The second change is I've got a lot more water this time. I was starting to get a sore throat in the afternoon stream, so I'm going to be drinking up, which might lead to me having to take an inevitable bathroom break at some point in this stream. So it's necessary. I had to take it. So with that, I think we are about ready to get into the jQuery portion of FreeCodeCamp. It's exciting. So, if you guys have tuned in so far, thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it. If you ever, leave a comment even now saying you got to this far. What are we, like 5 minutes into this video or so? Almost 5 minutes? At least it shows that someone's watching. Okay, so let's get started with this. It's been about 4 hours since I've looked at any HTML, CSS code, and I kind of have to refocus on everything. So I might be a little slow here to start off, but hopefully after a few days of doing this, or a week, we'll get back into the thick of things a little faster. So now it says we're ready to learn jQuery, the most popular JavaScript tool of all time. Don't worry about JavaScript itself. We will cover it soon. Before we can start using jQuery, we need to add some things to our HTML. First, add a script element. Script element, I'm assuming it means like that. At the top of your page, be sure to close it on the following line. Oh, you know what? I can do this thing now. Because you can write script and then tab, and it automatically makes the two tags. And when you click enter, it automatically knows to put the next tag not in line of where you clicked enter, but all the way back to where you started the tag. Awesome. So your browser will run any JavaScript inside a script element, including jQuery. Okay, so if I ever wanted to write JavaScript code, I have to make sure it's between these lines. Your browser will run any JavaScript. Okay, inside your script element, add this code. Now, I've got no idea what this code does. It looks very foreign. It doesn't have much meaning to me. I can't even really decipher what it means. I know quite a bit of Java, but it still looks quite foreign. Then close it on the following line with that. Okay. So it wants me to close it with this, parenthesis, semicolon. I totally butchered that. This, parenthesis, semicolon. Okay. We'll learn more about functions later. The most important thing is to know that that code you put inside this function will run as soon as your browser has loaded the page. Okay, so this is one of the first things that will run, is stuff on line 3. This is important because without your document ready function, your code may run before your HTML is rendered, which would cause bug. Wait. Your code may run before your HTML. So this is the last thing to actually close on. The important thing to know is that code you put inside the function will run as soon as your browser has loaded your page. Okay, so the stuff inside this is the last thing that gets loaded into the page, not the first. So all the HTML, CSS stuff will render first, so people don't get annoyed and frustrated that nothing has loaded and they just see a blank page with this swirly a circle icon that keeps twirling around. So that should be it for this page. And with that, I also live dangerously. But with that, I have hit 100 challenges completed. Whew, it's pretty good. That's about 80 today. That's a lot more than I anticipated, honestly. But we really rolled through it. Okay. Target HTML elements with selectors using jQuery. Okay, so we haven't done much jQuery yet. All we did was set up that document ready function. Now we have a document ready function. Now let's write our first jQuery statement. All jQuery functions start with a $, usually referring to a $sign operator, or as bling. Okay, wonder who made those colloquial terms. I guess that's the word you would use. jQuery often selects an HTML element with a selector, then does something to do that element. For example, let's make all of your button elements bounce. Okay, sounds pretty interesting. I can get down with this. For example, let's make your element bounce. Just add this code inside your document ready function. Okay, not teaching us much code. FreeCodeCamp, what are you doing? You should teach us what we're actually doing before we actually do it. Okay, note that we've Already included both jQuery libraries and the animate.css library in the background so you can use them in the editor. So you are using jQuery to apply the animate.css bounce class to your button elements. Okay, additionally make sure to use that instead of that. What's the difference? Oh, double quotes instead of single ticks marks. Okay. So this is making it bounce, but is it making it bounce repeatedly or just once? Okay. That's kind of interesting. Not really sure when I'd use that, but I guess it's kind of showing that JavaScript or jQuery is more action-based. So it's giving movement or action to stuff that normally just has color or is static. It's making it dynamic. You see how we made all of your button elements bounce? We selected them with, I guess I'm going to call it bling button. Then we add some CSS class to them. You know what? I gotta take a moment and Google this, how to actually refer to the $sign. How to refer to $sign in jQuery. Because this is, I don't know if this bling thing is legit. Let's see. Let's see if someone says it over here. I'm working on a project called $signs everywhere. What do people call the $sign? A factory. They call it a factory? That's even weirder than bling. I'm sticking with $sign. I don't feel comfortable using any of those words until I hear it from a real professional, or like if I get a job or something in this and they say bling or factory or something, then I'll do it. I'll say it, but until then it's $sign. Because that's just, that doesn't seem right. You see how we made all the buttons? Yep. You just used jQuery's .add class function to add classes to elements. First, let's target your div elements with the class well. Then use, for example, you can make okay, so it just wants me to go in here. Boom. So it wants to go boom. It wants me to do $sign well and find all the wells. Oh, but do I need to do .well? I think I do. Oh, note that just like with CSS declarations, you type a dot before the class's name. Okay. Then use jQuery's .add class parenthesis to add the classes animated and shake. Animated, shake. Whoa, we got some movement here now. I want to see that do again. Whoa. That's pretty shaky. It's pretty shaky. I just want to check how many more we have to go. I wanted to count this before we actually started the stream. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 117 is the goal for the stream. You can also target elements by their ID attributes. Okay. So I'm sure we'll do something like some ID attribute now. First, target your button element with the ID target3 by using the hashtag target3. Okay, note that just was you type up. Okay. Then use JQuery's .add class function to add the classes animated and fade out. Okay. .add class animated fade out. Now, I wonder if the capitalization matters, because they have it written out with a capital O, but I didn't. So I'm assuming it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. So let's see that work one more time. So it's faded out right now, comes back in, and then fades back out. Okay, take off the headphones for a little bit. These animations were cool at first, but now they're getting kind of distracting. Delete all 3 of these jQuery functions from your document ready function. Done. But leave your document ready. Okay. Okay, so it just wanted me to delete them. I don't know why I couldn't delete them myself, or they couldn't delete it themselves. Now you know 3 ways of targeting elements, both by button, by class, by type, class, or an ID. Although it is possible to add multiple classes in a single .add class, let's add them to the same element in 3 separate ways. Okay, using the .add class. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to write one just for my own reference, because it'll be useful in making sure I get the syntax correct. Okay. Add the animated class to all elements with the type button. Okay, well I pretty much already did that. Okay. Then I want to do the whoop. See, I like this because it's giving me a lot of practice of stuff that I just did, literally, but it's having me do basically the last 3 challenges at one time, to really make sure that I remembered how to do all of them, especially because they're slightly different. So add the shake class to all the buttons with the class btn, and so I do .btn with class btn. What was it? I think it was this. See, I'm having trouble already, but that's why they have me practice it. Add class, and it wanted me to do shake. Lastly, stuff with target. Which I also need the hashtag .add class btn primary. Wow! I honestly didn't think I was going to get it first try, but I'm pretty proud of myself that I did. In the same way you can add classes to an element with JQuery, add class function, you can remove them with jQuery's remove class function. Oh, well, why wouldn't you just click delete or like take it out, that button? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll write it here. So what does it want me to do? So it goes same way, target to. So pretty much the same thing. And it's probably remove class. It wants me to remove btn default. From all our buttons, okay? So we just go over here. Button. Awesome. Give me one moment. I'm gonna check something out on my other screen here. Okay. Just making sure everything looks kosher. Everything does. It's looking good. All right. I'm fine with that. Okay, let's go back to it. Change the CSS of an element using jQuery. See, what I don't understand is why am I using jQuery to change the elements of CSS? Why can't I just change it with CSS? It doesn't seem like it's... I mean, I guess if I'm changing a multitude of things, like every single button has animated bounce, right? That makes sense. But I don't know. I guess if I knew that I was going to do that, but why would I just use one? Like this ID, that it just changes a single button, right? Or in this case, it was, I don't know what it was. Oh, it was a button. A single one to be different. I would have just wrote it different, I think. But maybe that's not proper, or maybe it's not as fast. Okay, we can also change the CSS element directly. jQuery has a function called .css that allows you to change the CSS of an element. Here's how we would change its color to blue. I'm going to save my time and just copy paste it, tab it over and make it look nice. So we get target 1. Instead of remove or add class, we do .css. We change the CSS of color to blue. Okay. Separate with comma instead of colon. Delete your jQuery selectors, leaving an end empty. Okay, so it wants this to be empty. Not a problem. We want to select. Okay, I'm going to keep all these up here just for now. So what we want to do is do $. We want to select the target 1. So what we're going to do is target 1 .css. We're going to change its color to red. Pretty easy. Oops. I say it's easy and then I go oops. There we go. You could see the change right here. So I wonder if I can do this. If I can comment out this. No, I can't. So you can't comment out JavaScript code, because those signs for that syntax for commenting out code is only used on HTML. can also change the non-CSS properties of HTML elements with JQuery. For example, you can disable buttons. When you disable a button, it will become grayed out and no longer can be clicked. Okay. .prop, that allows you to adjust the properties of elements. Okay, sounds easy. So all we're doing is we're still keeping with target 1. It's prop, and we're changing the disabled property to true. Of course, that needs to be in quotes as well. Semicolon afterwards. Wonderful. Okay. Using jQuery, you can change the text between the start and end tags of an element. You can even change HTML markup. jQuery has a function called .html. Allows you to add HTML tags within an element. Any content previously within the element will be completely replaced with content you provide using this function. Here's how you would rewrite the emphasis, the text of our heading. jQuery playground. Okay, so we want to change the button with ID target 4 by emphasizing its text. Okay, so we're going to do the hashtag again. We are focused on target 4, so that needs a $. We are doing HTML. We are then emphasizing its text. And is that it? Okay, text is otherwise unchanged. All right. Did you just hit the like button? Well, whoever hit the like button, thank you very much. We are now just about halfway done. We are speeding through this. And again, we got slowed down about halfway through the last sessions. So we'll see if that happens again. Now let's remove an HTML element from your page using jQuery. jQuery has a function called remove that will remove an HTML element entirely. Remove the element target 4 from the page by using .remove function. Okay, so we're going to do pound. We're focused on hashtag target 4. We're doing the .remove, and that might just be empty quotes because that's pretty self-explanatory. I wouldn't think it would be otherwise. It's pretty... jQuery seems pretty straightforward once you understand the syntax of it. It's $, parenthesis, in quotes, what element you're focused on, what do you want to do with it, or the function of it, and then the parameters that the function takes, which in the first... in this .css, the function takes in 2 variables. The secondary tag, I don't know what you would call that. That would be like this class whatever part, or they don't really have any examples listed in here. But it'd be color, it would be background color, whatever, and then the value you want to give it. The disabled property. Property is a good word. That's the word I need. So the color property, the background color property, the text property, whatever. And this is disabled property. If you want it true, that's disabled. If it's false, that means you don't want it disabled. You want to keep it enabled. And this one, it just doesn't require any parameters. It's just empty parameters. Okay. So we moved on. Okay, now let's try moving elements from one div to another. Ooh. That would throw me off because the physical code says otherwise. You know, it still shows that it's all the code's in one div. And jQuery has a function called append_to that allows you to select HTML elements and append them to another element. For example, if you wanted to remove target 4 from our right well to our left well, we would use that. Move your target 2 element from your left well to the right well. I can do that. Okay, so we're focused on target 4, so that's what goes in here, as long as you actually can type, unlike me. And we want to use the function append_to, and we want target 4 to be appended to left well. Right well. That's what the directions say. It says right well. So Jacob right well. Okay, we got some errors here. Should not be inside left well. Well, I just changed it to left well to right well. Wait, it says target 2. That's the error. So write well and read well. That's what I gotta do. Moving on, 111. In addition to moving elements, you can also copy them by using the clone function. For example, we wanted to copy target 2 from our left well to our right well, we would use, makes sense, straightforward. Clone your target 5 element and append it to left well. So $, show us jQuery. We're focused on target 5. We're using the clone function. And where are we cloning it to? We're going to be cloning it to the right well. Copy your target 5 element should be inside your left well. Give me a second. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot the clone dot append to. Which means it goes back to the right. No? Left. Okay, I'm gonna need to read this one more time. Target 5 is normally in the right well. Now it needs to go to the left well. So I'm taking target 5, I'm cloning it, then appending it to, oh, that's what I left out. It's not left well, it's pound left well, because it's, yeah. That makes sense. So why didn't that work? Looking at this syntax, I mean, I don't want to just look at it and copy it, but oh, clone dot append to is not a function. Apparently it is, because I just did it again and it worked. These people. Don't they know I know better? Every HTML element has a parent element from which it inherits. Okay, so every HTML element has a parent element from which it inherits properties. For example, your jQuery playground has h3 elements that has the parent elements of div, class. Okay. So it's whatever the highest field is. Here's an example of how you would use the parent function if you wanted to give the parent element of the left well element background color of blue. So $. We're looking at the left well dot parent dot CSS. We're changing the CSS property or property of CSS and change background color to blue. Same exact syntax. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to do $. We're focused on the target 1 element. We're going to focus on the parent function. And then within that parent function, or class rather, we're going hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so resuming, we're inside the parent class. Inside the parent class, we're focused on the CSS function. In CSS, we're changing the background color to blue. Your left well.
I've been on there once. It's a mess down there.
Well, they said
It's the exact same thing as what they want,
quiet spot away from all people.
and they want it to be red. Huh, not working out. Let's see what the issue could be. Your left well element should have a red background. Is this not a red background? It looks red to me. That is the background of it, and it is surely red. Left well should have a red background. It's literally copying and pasting this code and just changing it to red. That is a blue background, and this is a red background.
Maybe focus on that other point instead. Give the parent of the hashtag target1 element a background.
I already did it. Oh, these are done.
No. I'm talking about that.
This one?
Maybe that ties in with that up there. Maybe it's supposed to be somewhere else. Or
Give
is it
the
supposed
parent of the target one. It's kind of conflicting. Give the left well element a red background. So it wants this.
at the code.
Yeah.
Target 1 parent. Yeah, that makes sense. Give the parent of the target 1 the red background color. So I'm guessing it wants the whole button to have a background color of red. But the first part does, or what they're asking for is...
Oh. Okay, so they didn't want the well to be... They didn't want this left well to actually be red. They really wanted the target 1 to be red.
Yeah.
Because when I did the background as red, it didn't accept that. Okay, so I guess I gotta read more of the instructions instead of just what it wants me to do. Alright, well thank you very much. Okay, we got about 5 more to go. This is moving quite quickly. For what they expected to be 5 hours, is turning out to be less than 1 hour.
About to lose like 4 hours of work. That would have been 4 hours down the drain right there.
Okay, many HTML... Okay, target the children. Because, you know, targeting the parents wasn't diabolical enough. We gotta target the children now. Many HTML elements have children which inherit their properties from their parent HTML elements. For example, every HTML element is a child of your body. H3 element is a child of your div class. Okay, so parent is the farthest out, and child is the most specific, closest to the center. Good. jQuery has a function called children, just like it had parent right here. So what does it want me to do? Here's an example of how you would use the children function to give the children of your left well element color blue. Give all the children of your right well element a color of orange. Of the right well. So we go right well, I think. Dot child or children. And that is a CSS property. And we're changing it to element color, comma, orange. Okay, so that didn't change anything. Right, well, you know what? I still need this, because it's an ID. Beautiful. We're moving along. I just want a quick overview of what more we're going to learn. I mean, there's only 4 left. I suppose I could wait. There are 3 left, okay. Specific child, target even numbered elements, use jQuery to modify the entire page. Alright. You've seen why ID attributes are so convenient for targeting with jQuery selector, but you won't always have such neat IDs to work with. Fortunately, jQuery has some other tricks for targeting the right elements. jQuery uses CSS selectors to target elements. Target nth child. Interesting. Third element in each well, the bounce class. Okay. Make the second child in each of your well elements bounce. So what we're going to do is we're going to do $, jQuery. We're going to do quotes. We're going to do dot target nth dash child dash 2. Lots of syntax that I probably can't remember if they ask me to do it right away again. Animated. You know what? It just probably wants bounce. Always some issues. Okay, so it does have to be animated bounce. It just can't be bounce. That's okay. You can also target all the even numbers. Okay. Oops. So what we're doing is going dot target colon nth. Nope. Target even. Add class. Animated shake. Totally needs to be in quotes. Animated shake. Wow, lots of shaking going on. Okay, I still wish they had a list or a site that has all these different functions to use, so I can, you know, play around with them and see what each one does. At the moment, I'm just using whatever one it says. Okay, we're done with our jQuery playground. Let's tear it down. jQuery can target the body element as well. Here's how we would make the entire body fade out. Well, copy paste that. And wow, it faded out. Let's do something more dramatic. Add the class's animated hinge to your body. So we're going to go animated hinge. Whoa. Yeah, I'd say that's a little more dramatic. Do I need to do comma here to get both? That is really cool though. What if I just did animated hinge? That is really cool. I like that one. And it like flops off the screen at the end. That's pretty cool. Okay. Was that 117? Oh boy. Our front-end development projects will give you a chance to apply the front-end skills you've developed up to this point. We'll use a popular browser-based code editor called CodePen. These projects are hard. It makes most campers several days to build each project. You will get frustrated, but don't quit. This gets easier with practice. Well, glad you're preparing me and giving me the confidence that it's going to be hard and most campers quit. When you get stuck, just use the read, search, ask methodology, meaning Google. Okay, I'm just going to skip through that. In the HTML box, create an H1 element. I'll do all this legit later. Just give it. We have a few more minutes, so actually we have like an hour and a few more minutes, but I figured I'd just run through this really quick. In the HTML box, create an H1 element with the text "Hello World." You can drag the frames around to resize them. You can also click the Change View button and change the orientation of the frames. Okay, so it's kind of got all three. Okay. Click the gear in the upper left-hand corner, the CSS box. Then scroll down to Quick Add, then click Bootstrap. Now give your H1 class. Okay. Text primary H. Okay. Sure. So what's our first challenge? Objective: build a app that is functionally similar to this. Okay, let's check this out. Dr. Norman Borlaug, the man who saved 1 billion lives. Picture. Written and coded by Quincy Larson. This doesn't seem terrible. I'm assuming it doesn't want this top thing. It just wants starting from here. We've got a div here. Probably. No, actually we might. I mean, we got the body. This whole thing's in the body because you can see the background's a little different. And the background's going to have a margin and a padding. You're going to have H1 element, an H2 element. Looks like an H3 element. We're going to have a picture. that's inside a div because it's going to have this paragraph below it, which is also has a different background color. Then you got the picture itself. It doesn't look like the picture has any highlight attribute when you scroll over it. Then we got another div, paragraph, maybe a paragraph or an H3, probably an H3. Then we got an ordered list with a lot of stuff on it. I think we learned an element for quotes, if I recall, perhaps. And then it's signed off by that person. You can use CSS to make it italicized and give it that gray color. And then lastly, we've got just a normal paragraph. This shouldn't be too hard. If I get really stuck on this, I'd be decently surprised. I feel like this is going to take about a full stream, maybe a little more than a full stream. So I'm saying about 3 hours. I'm going to estimate this to be. So, because I've learned a lot in my IT days, the main thing I've learned is under promise, over deliver. So what that means is, I think this project's going to take me about 10 hours to do, boss. And I'm going to hope I can do it in 3, so my boss feels pretty impressed. So that's what we got in store for tomorrow. Let's see. Fulfill the below user story. Fulfill the below user stories. I don't know what this is. I'm quite unsure still of what that is. User story, I can view attribute page. Oh. Okay, so I think it's that. Oh, I'll read this a little later. But I really think this is it. Yeah, I think this is really it. It was just the build, that web page. And I think that's what it is. Include a link to your code pen. Well, where do I put the link? I'm assuming this video will probably have it all. I'm not gonna watch it with you guys right now. Watch it by myself, and I can share the details of it later. Oh, is this like a checkbox thing? Hey! Well, cool. So, that's going to be it for this stream. I know it was a short one, but if we look at what we have accomplished today, we went through a good amount. 5 hours, 13 hours apparently in one day. Haha. No, this, as I expected, I think they're overestimating by about 40-60%. So more than double. I mean, it's whatever. I guess when you know, if I show on my resume, hey, I did FreeCodeCamp, check out how many hours it says each thing takes, and they see, oh man, this guy did 13 hours of yada yada yada, I'll be like, haha, it only took me 3. Hopefully I retain it though, as much as if I spent 5 hours on it. So, with that, thank you all for watching. I will see you all tomorrow as we try to take on the challenge of this website project. I'm still a little scared, but looking at it now, I believe I can do it. It shouldn't be too difficult. Please leave a comment below how you're liking the stream, especially if you've listened through all 3 of these. If you have any comments on the audio quality, the video quality, okay, I know the video quality sucks, so let's not go there. But maybe the placement of the video, yes, that's something you can talk to. Or just anything in general that you might want to see added to the stream or taken away. Let me know. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. I mean, I'm trying to take matters into my own hands by moving some of these things, but I do want to hear from you guys. So please write in the comment section below any ideas, as well as a thumbs up if you think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. Hopefully it'll improve as I learn more and I can speak better through these topics. So with that, I just want to show you guys one thing. You guys might have noticed that my title has been Keep Calm, Keep Coding, right? So on my shirt, it says Keep Calm and Control Z. So if you're stuck, just Control Z. You'll be glad you did it. You just start fresh. Alright guys, with that, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.